All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us in another episode of the EdTech Bites podcast. Quick, I just have to put this out here now at the beginning of the show. We are going to be all over the place. I'm joined by two friends. I'm not even going to use the word guests. We are going to talk about anything and everything that comes across our minds. I believe we're pretty much caffeinated at this point. So if this episode falls off the rails, then just hold on to the rails with us, because I guarantee you will smile and laugh at least a couple times in this episode. I'm joined by Marialice Curran and Matt Joseph, and we are going to get into it. I would do a formal intro for them, but I'm not going to do you guys any justice. So on that note, Marialice, take it away. I'm
going to go bum 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 right? We're both from Boston.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
go.
go.
So that's, I felt like that was really important to do a little Fenway Park.
I like it. I like it.
There you go.
We're going to sing some Sweet Caroline.
Yes, and then,
Sweet.
we start to do the wave. I mean, this is a way to kick off a conference. So, anyways.
So right. I'm going to introduce Marialice. I want to introduce ourselves.
I would love that.
As you introduce Marialice as a friend, or all of us friends, I consider her a great friend and somebody I've learned from really over the last year and a half. She's a DigShit pioneer and somebody who really continues to use tech for good, hashtag tech for good. She's the CEO of Digital Citizenship Institute and is just an amazing educator. Her first collaborative book for the Digital Citizenship Institute came out just recently, Learn with Mundo, so it's pretty exciting to have her here.
Give you a virtual applause
and
if
you don't know her, make sure to check her out on all socials. She's incredibly inspirational.
All right.
Well,
you want to return the favor? Go for it.
Yeah.
Introduce Matt.
Okay, I'm going to introduce Dr. Matthew X.
I was going to say Dr. Marialice Curran, but we were going friends. I didn't know we were going
Okay,
formal.
and we both share the X, which
turned it up a notch.
Really makes me, it's like I'm really proud of that, because you don't see the X everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So
you're right.
Yes.
You just don't. So we both, from Boston. You're from Boston. I happen to be named after a bunch of saints. So
and Matthew Xavier Joseph, three saints.
So it's Marialice Bridget Francis Xavier Curran, right?
Gabe, it goes deeper. Where did your dad work, and where did you and I both get our PhDs?
Yes, we both at Boston College. I mean, so that's why I had to go dun dun dun
wow.
dun dun dun. Yes.
So our connections run deep.
And so the idea of X-Factor and the community and that stronger together, isn't just something that's lip service. It's it's actionable. It's something that Matt models every single day, and on and offline. So, assistant superintendent, somebody who talk about walking your talk. Answers emails in person. You are in schools, you are in classrooms. I just have so much respect and a full heart that our paths in life have crossed, and you're just an inspiration. So
thank you.
I'm really happy.
Let's clap it up for Matt.
Let's clap it up, man.
Dr. Matt. I didn't realize we were going to go
we had
formal.
a lot of connections there between the X, both of us getting our doctoral degrees at BC, and we really just met on a chance, actually. So how we met is Marialice sent a tweet to Namia Josie, who was looking to publish her book, and she's like, "Hey, have you checked out X-Factor Matthew Joseph?" And I was like, "Oh, thank you. I don't even know who you are. And this is under 2 years ago, and then we obviously
this was under 2 years ago.
Actually, it was last year.
It was October.
It was last year because
it was October of 23.
And by FETC last year.
No, 22. Yeah.
By last FETC, Namia's book came out
in New Orleans.
And we brought it.
Yeah.
And we brought it, and so Namia was looking for a publisher. I just happened to say, "What about Matthew X. Joseph?"
We've only known each other 18 months.
And then how quickly did that happen?
I've known you longer.
Yes, you've known me twice as long.
I know.
So then we met for the first time at NICE-Gate 20.
In person.
22.
Yeah.
After that tweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Namia, can I just give a shout out to Namia? She is the keynote today happening. It was actually already has happened because of the time zone at BET. And yes.
So there's our origin story.
Yes.
Holy cow.
All because
and we told you to hold on.
There's a part of me that almost wishes I would have booked like an hour and a half slot.
I told you when you reached out, are you sure? I'm like, yes.
But I feel like we've known each other forever.
Right?
It's crazy how we have people in our lives that we cross paths and we feel like we've known them forever.
Yes.
Obviously the case with you two.
Yeah, and I think meeting in person just cemented it, and going on the, your walking food tour in ISTE and all that stuff.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute. So you guys had just okay, so that was June.
We had just
You
met.
had just met.
In
November.
person in November.
7 months before that, yeah.
It's taken a lot for me to kind of digest that. Okay,
Yes,
all right.
yes.
I know we're not video. Oh, I think we have cameras.
we are video.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He's a little stunned.
Yeah, okay. Now, you guys are both on the EdTech Bites podcast. You've been on it at least one time each. Mm-hmm. We break bread on the show. We break bread on the show. Crazy. So big shout out to Mecato's Bakery and Cafe in downtown Orlando. They were part of the walking food tour, and they were so delicious that last night before we left, I picked up a 6-pack of these desserts, these pastries. Denise, who I just met with a little while ago on the show, brought the exact same dessert from a different place.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, and look at us.
Were we supposed to bring something?
We show up empty-handed. We're never being invited back.
She left them for the guests for the rest of the day. So you guys can try both and tell me which one you guys like the best. These are guava and cheese pastries, like a cream cheese.
Oh, hello.
Oh, yes. I thought you were going to say something else.
No.
So it just goes to show how similar and different that we can be. Same pastry, but they look a little bit different.
Ooh, that one looks like it has raspberry in it.
Yeah, but they're both filled with guava and cheese. So I guarantee you're going to need many of these.
Okay.
So have at it. We did half and half. I'm still working on them.
Listen, I'm all right. I mean, I feel like we're family.
Yeah,
so
let's break.
we can just
I want to do the raspberry one. Let's do that.
This one?
The one that the raspberry's sticking out of.
Like that one.
Yes.
All right,
so that one is a little bit different. It's kind of like topped with sugar. This one has a glaze on it.
Well,
Same
we already
pastry,
grabbed this one.
Just different.
I think we're supposed to try both, by the way.
Okay, I picked that up. Yes.
You're supposed to decide which one you like.
On 3.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Okay. I got mine too.
All right.
All right.
1, 2,
3. Let's do this.
That's good.
It's good, right?
It is really delicious.
That's good.
And you know what? Not too sweet. Like, that is, like, perfect.
And it's 0 calories.
No way. I love it.
It stays in the box.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm
I like
all right with that.
All right. And we just had breakfast, too.
Mm-hmm. I'm taking another bite. It was so good.
Go for it.
Marialice, I'm going to start with you.
Or
I probably should have started with Matt.
I'm good.
Talk to us about Mundo. You Did you have him at FETC last year in New Orleans?
Okay, Mundo, no. So last year
he was on the food tour. No,
this is
Ellie.
This is Mundo's. Yes, Ellie was. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm so glad you brought up Ellie the elephant from Scotland. She also is an X-Factor.
Next book coming out for us.
She
follows you.
Okay.
And really excited because she has that classroom set of elephants that, are always on tour, going around the world, helping students learn about the worlds with the world.
Yeah.
And so Mundo, the plush, is inspired by Mary Jalen and her herd of elephants. But Mundo in Spanish means
world.
And we have always, and it was deliberate because of Eugenia, right? Our programs are available in Spanish and in Portuguese, but to have the character named Mundo to help classrooms learn about the world with the world, with building this, foundation of digital citizenship. So
yeah, and sorry to cut you off, but I had to interject when you talked about that. When we were at FETC last year in New Orleans, and you talked about Mundo, my father's name was Edmundo.
What?
Whoa, I love it.
Yeah, and my nephew's name, actually my brother's name is Edmundo II, and then his son, his oldest, is Edmundo III.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
It's crazy. Well, I can tell you, we didn't really intend to have an AI bot. But we've been talking Heather Brantley.
Brantley, big shout out to you.
Yes, she
also missed the food tour just like you did.
I know. She really wanted for AI to have, that foundational piece around digital citizenship. And so between Heather Brantley and Eugenia, it was like a call, and it just kind of naturally evolved. And then we got Jamie Donnelly involved.
Dean Gainey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
The whole crew.
The whole crew. So
Eugenia.
It's been, Eugenia. And anyways, we got to host our summit on Tuesday. That was a 4-hour event where
I saw that. I flew
was really
in that
awesome.
day, and I saw all the posts about it.
Yeah.
Packed house, right?
Packed house. And, with these learning stations based on each of the digital citizenship elements. So it was really fabulous.
Okay.
Yeah.
I brought Deja Donut.
Deja Donut. I like it.
So my oldest son, Gabriel, purchases for me for Christmas. Somebody asked, how old is he? 18. But
Doesn't matter.
He wanted it to be the mascot of the show.
All right.
So,
Deja Donut.
See, it got their attention right away. So
I love it.
I think they
can be
officially
pals.
need to meet. Yeah. So
yes.
Deja and Mundo.
I love it.
I like it.
I love it.
All right. Sounds good. Matt, talk to us about X-Factor, man.
Well, it's really a collection of amazing educators. Like, there's no other way to put it. And I've really tried to frame this, and it's kind of taken a new life of, my goal is just to bring educators together and share their content. Sharing content and creating content is something educators do every day. But oftentimes they're not as confident to share it with the world. And one of the things that I've learned over my journey through, my career, mostly, in public education, but doing some outside work, is that your story is important. And if it changes one person, then it's a good day.
Yeah.
And if it changes a group of people, it's a good day. And really at the heart of what X-Factor is bringing people together, celebrating who we are for what we are, and sharing our content and having a space to do it, because it's going to resonate with somebody.
Yeah.
Our world is too big to not have it resonate, and my goal with it is just to get it out there. I have worked with principals for years, many years back, in doing blogs and different things, and it's not just about books, it's not just about a podcast that we do, it's about getting people's voices out there in whatever format works for you.
There's something, well, let me back up. Cooking Up Experiences in the Classroom, Focus on Experiences, Not Just Lesson, is officially out on X-Factor EDU Publishing. So thank you for that.
Hit the applause.
Hit the applause button. We can't hear, but hey.
But I think that sums it up. We met in Austin, Texas at Idle Hands. Shout out to Idle Hands. And it was just like, what do you got to say? We're not going to frame this out. We're just, what do you have to say? And what are you passionate about? Like, every book is different because it's everyone's passion. It's like your passion project that now you get to have in print or have on air if you choose to do it that way. And that's kind of the backstory. Yeah,
so it came down to the wire. It got published like literally last week.
Right.
I got my hands on it, and I opened it up, I want to say Sunday, if not Monday, and then flew out Tuesday, like that. But one of the conversations that you and I had, because we had been talking over the phone at least a couple times a week for the past couple weeks, is you said something that that resonated with me deeply. And I was talking to Jed Stefanowitz about this yesterday. You said, I want to be like I want X-Factor to be like Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm like Netflix. I have content. X-Factor holds the content for all these great creators, and it's just a space for people to come and check out the great content that you guys have. I do not, I am not the brains behind this or anything. You said, I am just here to showcase everyone's voice. And that really stuck out with me, man. So I'm going to give you a round of applause.
Okay, I'm going to do the wave and the whole bit, because that's modeling we, not me,
Yeah.
That is when the essence of community.
And I want everyone to be their own brand. Like, sure, X-Factor is an umbrella, but you're EdTech Bites. I'm not going to swoop in on that. That's your space. That's your platform. Hooker Tech, Smile Learning. Like, you're your own people, and I want to highlight that for sure.
Well, I thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
In person for the opportunity. Like you said, from idle hands to published author.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, and I got to get in there for the thanks, too, because from a tweet, right, to, a student, author,
crazy.
Winamia, to all, this would not have happened without you. Learn
Show
with
it up.
Mundo.
Put it further.
This would not have happened. And, it is a blessing to be a part of your community.
Yeah, and I think the Mundo project sums up, like, I don't know anything about Mundo, I'm just a user. Yeah. But I helped on the back end, in the sense, helped to how you can build it and how to go from Canva to Amazon.
We would need an hour, more than an hour for a podcast, because that is funny. That would be a comedy routine.
Yeah, okay. But I think that's what both of us are in the field to do, is to support others, amplify others' voice, and in turn, yesterday we had the book signing, your very first book signing, and we had 7 people there. Like that, to me, that's better than any individual success I'll ever have.
Yeah, there was something. It didn't really hit me until, I walked down the escalator, and as soon as I walked in the expo hall, I walked in with Jed, and he used the restroom, and I said, okay, I'm gonna, I'll see you over at 3:00 at the Meet the Author booth. And then I ran into you. You said, hey, I'm going to put you to work here.
Take the
grab your books. And then we turned the corner, and I saw the booth. And I thought, and that's when it hit me, like, I'm an author. Like,
right, something different now.
I'm on the other side of this table.
Yeah.
And then my wife, big shout out to my beautiful wife, Erica, and my kids, they had me sign their copy when we unboxed them at home. But I did not know what to write. I never thought about it or planned it. She was like, what are you going to write in my book? I said, I don't know. I think I ended up, for my son, I wrote like "Have a great summer," something. So when I had my first signing, I had that moment again.
Yeah.
What do I end up writing? But I think I hammered something out pretty good. But it was very eye-opening and just humbling to be on that other side of the table, where I had people asking me about my book rather than me asking people about their book, and it was just, it hit me hard, man. It hit me hard, and I thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. You guys need to try that other
All right,
one.
we'll go with the second one.
Yes. That one, a little glazier, a little
stickier. Sure.
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay.
And I've got mine here too.
All right. Oh boy. It's stuck to my finger.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Wow.
Ready?
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm gonna have him bring a vacuum. That's a mess.
Okay. I have a sweet tooth. This is like speaking to me. This one.
Yeah. I think the difference in not that I'm any kind of baker, is the design. I think I got the middle, like, big chunk of the filling, and that was, like, good. The first one was really good, too, but it was long and thin.
Yeah.
Like, this was a mini triangle. Oh, well, it's on camera. Mini triangle with the filling in the middle, so that was
This
good.
is sweeter. How about
It's
you?
definitely
For
sweet.
my
I
taste
got
buds.
the cheese. I got more of the savory cheese than I did the sweet.
Okay. I am a
Oh, man.
connoisseur for cheese Danishes. Like, that's my thing. Like,
Oh yeah,
I love cheese Danish. And this one has a little more of a cheese Danish feel to me.
It does. It does. The pastry is not as sweet, I would say.
agree.
Right.
I really am going to have him bring it back. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
worried.
Well, this was a real treat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my fingers are super
I know,
sticky.
right?
Yeah,
All right.
play on words.
This is going to be the stickiest
Yeah.
board ever. So, you guys literally met 18 months ago. I still can't digest that. That's crazy.
I think we have the same color eyes. We could be related.
Well,
Look,
can I share a little bit about that, and again add some content to your
Go for it.
and talk about
I told you we're gonna go off the
education,
rails,
leadership, and talking about digital. So, and I hope she's okay that I share this. If not, oh boy. But I think
I've got some editing to do.
I think it cemented our friendship, and it was about risk taking, where I try to be silly sometimes or off the cuff, and I said something at a podcast that came across not how it should have. in my mind, I thought I was sharing how great Marialice is, and it came across in a different light. Me, in my lens, I didn't see it. And her in her lens, she did. And there were two choices. Just bury it, let it go, and our friendship would be kind of like, oh, this guy...
We wouldn't be here right now.
This guy's kind of like, oh, a little pompous, whatever.
Yeah.
And she didn't. Called me out on it, and I was like choked up, like, oh my God, that is not at all. I actually edited the podcast to make sure I took that part out. And we had it was a hard conversation, and we literally just met for the first time, and this was a conversation. This is like our second conversation after that nice game, and we just talked, and I was like, wow, thank you for saying that's not how I met, and we our friendship was cemented on that's not how I felt, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
So it was a teachable moment for individuals out there that you can be honest with people you trust. And that allowed us to have the bond that we have today, because she took the risk to call me out on something that is kind of my personality, and I was taken back and hurt for myself. Like, oh my God, I hurt her feelings, and I had to apologize multiple times.
You didn't have to apologize.
Well, I did, but...
He called immediately.
Okay.
You wanted to clear the air, it was like...
Okay.
You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm just... Because I know both of you as individuals, and I always assumed you guys knew each other.
Right.
Because I also know that where you guys are from regionally, I was like, oh, it's a small town. Well, not small town, but East Coast is, tight-knit.
Yeah.
I thought you guys just knew each other. But not only did you guys, just build a relationship, you forged it on I guess the second real conversation that you guys had together. You called him out on something.
And I hope you're all right that I bring it up, but it's a teachable moment.
There are times that I've wanted to call somebody out who I've maybe just met, but I'm like, nah.
Okay.
And it goes, like you said, the relationship is kind of never really as it could be, but you did it.
I did it because I didn't want to bury it and then never have anything like that. He published Namia's book, and that was the end of it. And I had, we went in parallel universes or
Mission
whatever.
Accomplished.
I saw a bigger picture the moment that we really connected after that tweet. And I just thought, with honesty, this is somebody I want to work with. This is somebody that I want to be in community with. And so I just have to say something. It's not my typical, I don't usually do this. I usually bury, but I could tell it meant something, and I had to clear the air. And so I guess, if anything, the importance of doing that when it really matters.
Yeah, and I think in the field that we're in working, we are a collaborative profession. Yeah. We work with other people no matter what your role is. And I'm not saying be cruel to somebody, but it was just an honest, this is how it came off. Because a lot of times in our field, because we work with so many individuals, in my role, I oversee, 11 elementary schools, and I meet with a lot of people. And my way might not resonate with everybody. My kind of, not sarcastic, but just off the cuff, kind of fun, loose. Yeah. We're somebody who's much more let's look at the data, let's do this. I might come off either pompous or I don't care, and it's okay to share that with somebody, how it made them feel. Yeah. And it's not urine or whatever. You shared it where this is how you made me feel. And it was that's not how I intended. And in our profession or online, because you do a lot with digital citizenship, you never know how that comes.
That's the point I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Is we do it online. God, I can't tell you how many times playing video games. I play video games with my boys. I like to game with them. The stuff that I hear online is insane. It's insane. And it's just, but certain individuals, they become, keyboard bullies or what have you. Mm-hmm. And, they do that because they know that they'll never meet in real life. But if we were face to face, you probably wouldn't say half the stuff you said. But it's not until you get called out that you realize, oh, okay. And you learn from it. You learn what not to do, what not to say. And I mean, and you move forward. I mean, that's the reality of it is you move forward and you just keep pushing forward. And here we are today.
Having breakfast.
Literally breaking bread.
Yeah, in the summer took a road trip together, which was fun.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys go?
A great event in upstate New York. Lori Guion, another one of our team members, put on an event in Queensbury.
Smile.
And Smile Learning. And Marialice met me at my mom's house, and we had lunch, and we drove because it was like halfway.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lunch at his mom's.
I was
know,
like, oh,
from a tweet.
my friend's coming over, and she's like, I'll make lunch, and we left her car there. We drove together the last 2.5 hours.
The meatloaf.
Ma, make some lunch for Marialice is coming over. And she did. Shout out to Jeannie Bean Joseph.
Oh my gosh. And it was so nicely, like,
what
the
did
table,
she prepare?
talk about her table was so nicely set.
I
mean, it was really wonderful to have, like, it was just really lovely.
It was cold cuts and like a charcuterie board, but on a plate type of thing.
Okay.
And she's been a single mom since I was 7 and she still lives in the house I grew up in, and she's been alone essentially since my sister and I went to college, and it was like company for her, so she was psyched. So we had our cold cuts and salad and buns and rolls or whatever you would call them, and then we got in the car and head to upstate New York together.
And then talked the entire, like, there was
Shocked
like, no, yes. In fact, it was that only another hour, but like podcast. But the story, we were driving this route that Matt, I don't know, in high school rode his bike. And, like, to have him, like, narrate it, and it's, like, up this low, like, deadly incline. I mean, it was hysterics.
So if you go to X-Factor.link and go to the blogs I wrote, it's called One Bad Apple. It's a story about my dad, because obviously with my mom, it was just the two of us. And long story short, and you can read the blog, I rode my bike 90 miles because I thought I could do it.
90?
And we were on that route.
From Pittsfield, Massachusetts to Albany, New York. Maybe closer to 60, but it was far. So, and it was up hills, and she had read the blog, and we were laughing the whole way, like, this is where I rode my bike. This is where the tire flat. This is where I ran out of money. And for those youngsters out there, I had to make a collect call.
What?
Not like you had a
and I was so afraid of what my mom would say. I called my dad for some unknown reason, and the moral of the story was my mom was calling the police, and my dad came to pick me up and told me I should fix the bike and ride home on the payphone. He's like, fix the bike. I'm like, it took me 6.5 hours to get here, and you want me to? Whoa. It's already 5 p.m. So that's the point of the blog, is that in our field, that don't let people in your building or someone in your building who's a naysayer hold you back. And so we got to take that trip too.
Was it the chain? Was it the tire? What was it?
The tire.
Okay. All right. That's the worst.
All right. I'm going to out myself. I was 17. I didn't know you couldn't ride a bike on the highway. So.
I mean, it was a really funny car ride.
On the highway?
No, that was a problem. So in a car, when I would drive to the Albany Mall, we would take the highway. I'm like, it's only like 45 minutes. If I can ride 30 miles an hour, I'll get there in an hour and a half. This for my.
That's doable.
Yeah.
30 miles an hour? Oh, on a 1-speed bike? Okay, yeah.
It's 10 speed.
Oh, it was an actual 10-speed?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I could see a 17-year-old.
Yeah, the bravado of like, I could get there.
Yeah. Was it a bet? Did somebody say, you can't do that, man?
No, it was just like, we wanted to it was summer before we were playing football, a friend of mine, and we were like, let's not work out today. Let's ride. Let's take a ride. Let's ride somewhere. We're like, why don't we ride to Albany Mall?
Man.
We can probably get there in an hour and a half. So, anyways, we took a road trip. But I think another piece to bring it back to the Dig Sit in the collaboration is that meeting people online through Twitter, through different things, and you call them your friends, but you don't really know them.
Yeah.
And I think having the opportunity to meet in person, you and I met in person, where you get to see who people are, and I think that's important in the Dig Sit world, in the professional world.
Absolutely. To go from connection to friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good way.
That's another book.
Yeah, there it is.
Hold on.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Gabe can have it.
Yeah. So, what's your interpretation of the road trip? Tell me.
Okay, well, it was like kind of being like on a travel show, because he's narrating it as well.
Like Morgan Freeman?
Yes, and there's that like low, slow incline, and you're like dying. We're driving up it, but like I can just imagine I mean, there should have been we should have filmed it because it was funny. It was
that
really
would have been
great
an awesome
ride.
vlog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But I think I'm gonna bringing it back to the did shit and the work. You don't need to film everything. That was special for us.
Yes.
Oh,
and I think
that's
that
a
was
great way to put it.
And I think the memories that we had were ours. And last night had a great opportunities with some great friends. Carl Hooker and Andy Wallace and thank you big time and Phil Hintz and thank you Adam Bello for having a shared experience at Disney. And we're phones away the whole time. This is our special time with the guys, and we took a couple photos just for us. And I think having that in our world too, and finding that balance is important.
Oh, yeah, and because nobody can take that away. That moment in time. I mean, a lot of times in just this digital citizenship world, especially when my son was little, I would purposely say we're going device free, to try to model that, and then, especially at a Red Sox game, to bring it back to dun dun dun, right?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "But today's the day I'm going to catch the fly ball," and I would say, "We don't need a picture for that. If today's the day, you're going to remember that the rest of your life." And so, having those moments, I'm glad that you kind of tied it back to that. It really matters.
Yeah, there's I guess a saying that is happening a lot. If you didn't take a picture of it, if you can't prove it, it didn't happen.
Right.
No, I don't need to prove to you that I ran into so-and-so at the airport, or that I did this, or that I really was in Orlando talking with Marialice and Matthew. I don't need to, like you said, not everything needs to be filmed, not everything needs to be posted. As long as you know that it happened and it was a special experience, a moment like you said, then that's all you need.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
That was real time last night. We went on the Rise of the Resistance ride at Hollywood Studios, and Carl Hooker and I were in the front row. And at the end, you come out of the ride. I won't go into if you've never been on it, but at the end, you come out and you're facing a Star Wars character. But then there's an open area and you can see out, and the moon was there. It was
really?
so. We're sitting there is this real? Is it not real? And we're and after we're we should have took a picture of that. It was so surreal. And we're no, it would have ruined the moment.
Yeah.
Not that we're having a moment that, but it was really surreal, and those things really, I've really kind of evolved. I was a super poster for a long time. I know that. But now moving into what's important to share so that other people can learn from it. Not just a look at me, I'm a whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's being in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes from being in the moment to trying to capture the moment for the sake of other people, which isn't really worth it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What do you guys got going on later at FETC?
So I am actually leaving here in about 5 minutes and walking right over to do a session with Lori Guion about inquiry-based instruction, getting students to think, teaching them, how to think, not what to think. And then we're going to do some podcasts myself, Stronger Together podcast. And then this afternoon I'm with Adam Bello, the CEO of Breakout EDU, and Alethea, the CEO of Mad Learn, and we're going to talk about student entrepreneurship. And then tomorrow,
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where the Lemonade Stand book came from.
Okay.
And then tomorrow I have Innovative Leadership with Lori as well.
Okay.
I am going. I've got 10 to 2 with the Jamie Donnelly. It's for the immersive experience, but she's got a whole crew, everyone's going to be there with different pieces.
Her stuff has really evolved in the past 5 years to just huge.
Unbelievable. So that's 10 to 2. We have another session, and then if I can say one other really nice thing. Tomorrow, we have a session. I put this session in to really acknowledge Frank Moody and Elizabeth Polo. Last April, we put on a global student showcase. We went live every single day for the month of April, showcasing, celebrating students in classrooms around the world who use tech for good. And Frank and Elizabeth showed up every single day.
Oh, wow.
Matt showed up a bunch, too. But I've never met Elizabeth Polo. There isn't that. And she kept showing up for students. So our session on Friday is the power of showing up.
I like that, the power of showing up.
It says it speaks volumes in life, not just in our education, but in our personal and our professional lives. So I'm excited about that tomorrow, too.
Okay. All right. How can people catch you guys on social media?
I think the best way to connect with me is at Matthew X Joseph on X, and on there's links to the website that I shared, xfactor.link. And that's the easiest way to access content or connect with me.
Okay, Marialice?
I'm all my initials, MBFXC. And same thing, I've got a link tree there that would bring you to all other ways to connect with me.
All right, and all that information, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be in the show notes. Don't worry about pulling over, stopping your walk or your jog, or picking up your dog's garbage in the middle of this to try to write that down. All the links will be in the show notes. And once again, a big thank you to our sponsor, Lightspeed, for this episode. To learn more about Lightspeed, please visit www.lightspeed-tech, that's TEK.com, to learn more. Thank you, guys. I enjoyed having you guys on. Next time, for ISTE, we're doing a 2-hour block. We're doing a 2-hour block, and we're going to have a lot to talk about.
So I'm just going to end where you started with when you texted me and you said, "Oh, do you mind sharing your time with Marialice?" And I was like, "Oh, you don't know what you're getting into." And your response was, "Oh, I'll ask her." I'm like, "You don't need to ask her."
Indeed, we did it. All right, so enjoy the rest of your conference.
All right,
and,
thank you.
Thank you for being you. And last question, corn or flour tortilla?
Corn.
Corn?
I don't know if I know the difference. Like, I'd have to do another taste test. I don't think I can answer.
Are you going to TCEA?
I am.
Okay.
I'll answer it then.
You'll answer it then. Okay, sounds good. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.